Our first update is from Concord, Sydney, where a luxury home, owned by convicted cocaine dealer and Hells Angels bikie, Ray Frangieh, was the target of a third drive-by shooting. At around 1:30 a.m. on July 3, 5 shots were fired at the property. No one was home at the time. This is the third such attack involving the Frangieh family. The first, in 2003, involved a dozen shots. The second, later that year, resulted in the death of Father Saeed Frangieh, believed to be a case of mistaken identity meant for Raymond. Brothers Joe and Raymond Frangieh have passed convictions for cocaine supply. Raymond has also faced charges for drug trafficking, money laundering, assault, and speeding offenses. Joe has been embroiled in tax disputes involving millions in unexplained deposits, and has links to known criminals. After this latest shooting, a white stolen Genesis vehicle believed to be involved was found torched nearby. Police suspect at least 2 people were involved and are investigating the motive behind the targeted attack. The case has been forwarded to Strike Force Falcon, the 150-officer team, investigating various other recent drive-by shootings in Sydney. Our next update comes from New South Wales Police's Raptor Squad, who have charged 3 men during a crackdown targeting members and associates of the notorious Finks Outlaw Motorcycle Club. As part of the operation named National Day of Action on Finks, officers carried out 14 firearm prohibition order compliance checks and issued 13 consorting warnings. Police also seized a range of illicit drugs, including 35 grams of cocaine, 16 grams of methamphetamine, MDMA tablets, and a small amount of cannabis.
Police! FBO! Open the door! Police! FBO! Open the door! Police FBO! Police FBO!
At around 5:50 a.m. on Tuesday, July 1, 2025, officers conducted a firearm prohibition order check at a home in Georges Hall. While no breaches were found, a 50-year-old man was arrested for allegedly breaching his consorting warning more than 10 times over the past 7 months. He was charged with habitually consorting with convicted offenders and granted conditional bail to appear at Bankstown Local Court. Later that morning, around 7:10 a.m., police carried out another FPO check in North Parramatta. Inside the home, officers found prohibited drugs, as well as scales and packaging materials consistent with drug supply. A 52-year-old man was arrested and charged with 3 counts of supplying a prohibited drug and 1 count of possession. He was refused bail and faced Parramatta Local Court. Meanwhile, at 5:45 a.m., Raptor Squad officers stopped a vehicle in Auburn for an FPO compliance check. A search of the car uncovered a knife and a baseball bat. The 32-year-old driver was arrested and charged with possessing a knife and an offensive implement in a public place. He was granted conditional bail and is due to appear at Burwood Local Court. Our next update is from the Australian Federal Police, who have dismantled a clandestine drug lab in Sydney's west and seized more than 100 kilograms of methamphetamine-related products. The operation is part of an ongoing investigation into a criminal syndicate that began in October 2023. It was triggered after U.S. Customs detected 27 kilograms of meth concealed in blankets sent from South America to Australia. The meth-soaked blankets, with an estimated street value of $25 million, led Australian authorities to launch an extensive investigation. Initial inquiries linked the drug shipment to a phone number already associated with previous smuggling attempts. In April 2024, the AFP raided a property in Cabramatta and found devices tied to the original shipment. At the same time, a search in Canley Vale uncovered an encrypted communication device used by the syndicate. These leads eventually brought investigators to a third address in Fairfield East. On June 19, 2025, police executed a search warrant at the Fairfield East location and uncovered a large-scale drug lab. The lab was safely dismantled. Inside, police found 77 kilograms of drug-impregnated material, 39 kilograms of pre-manufactured methamphetamine, 35 kilograms of liquid meth, over 600 liters of chemical waste, and several electronic devices now under forensic examination. AFP Detective Superintendent Morgan Blunden said criminal groups behind such operations have no regard for the damage their actions cause in the community and are driven purely by greed. He praised the teamwork of the AFP and New South Wales Police in breaking up the operation. As of now, it is unclear whether this operation was linked to any specific bikie club or organized crime syndicate. Investigations into the syndicate remain ongoing with further arrests likely. Next up, California, where Shane Ngakuru, a senior member of the Comancheros and younger cousin of Comanchero Supreme Commander Dax Ngakuru, has been sentenced to 4 years and 9 months in a United States federal prison, after he pleaded guilty to his role in the global Anom sting, led by the FBI and Australian Federal Police. Ngakuru played a central role in distributing encrypted devices to organized crime figures around the world. What he didn't know was that the entire platform had been created and controlled by law enforcement agencies, allowing authorities to secretly monitor more than 27 million messages sent by criminal syndicates across the globe. Shane Ngakuru is now 45 and was arrested in Thailand in October 2022 and later extradited to the United States. In January this year, he pleaded guilty in a San Diego court to racketeering conspiracy charges. Prosecutors described him as a key figure in the Anom enterprise, responsible for selling and servicing the $2,000 encrypted phones, which were widely used by drug traffickers, money launderers, and members of outlaw bikie clubs. According to court documents, Ngakuru had the ability to reset or wipe devices remotely and marketed them as designed by criminals, for criminals. His actions directly facilitated the trafficking of large quantities of drugs, including at least 50 kilograms of cocaine and over 5 kilograms of methamphetamine intended for New Zealand. Ngakuru's arrest formed part of Operation Trojan Shield, a landmark international law enforcement operation that led to more than 1,200 arrests worldwide and the seizure of over 12 tons of cocaine, 3 tons of methamphetamine, 300 firearms, and about $100 million in cash and assets. In New Zealand, the sting led to arrests of members from the Comancheros, Waikato mongrel mob, and headhunters, among other gangs. Despite his defense lawyer's request that he be sentenced to time served due to the 2 years and 8 months he spent in Thailand's notoriously harsh Bangkok remand prison, judge chose to impose the nearly 5-year sentence. The judge noted the gravity of Ngakuru's actions, which supported transnational organized crime and facilitated the flow of dangerous narcotics across borders. Ngakuru's time in the U.S. prison will be followed by deportation to New Zealand, where he faces a further 70 criminal charges related to his involvement in drug trafficking and money laundering. His case highlights the scale and sophistication of the criminal operations involved, as well as the global reach of law enforcement collaboration. Next we move to Perth, where a coronial inquest will be held in November this year, to examine the death of Rebels Motorcycle Club president Jamie Ginn, who died in police custody at the Perth Watch House, on October 10, 2023. Jamie, who was 50, had recently been appointed president of the Rebels when he was arrested over firearm and drug offenses. Later that day, officers reported seeing him suffering with a seizure in his cell around 7 p.m. Despite CPR and paramedics being called, he could not be revived. At the time of the medical emergency, no nurse was on duty. Western Australia Police confirmed that the assigned nurse had called in sick and no replacement was found. Although police say officers followed first aid procedures and did everything they could. Jamie's family disputes this information. They claim they were told that a nurse had been present, and had administered emergency treatment, including adrenaline and the use of a defibrillator. The family's lawyer criticized police for releasing conflicting details to the media before informing the family. As required in all deaths in custody, a coronial investigation will assess whether the actions or inactions of police or other staff contributed to his death. Jamie's arrest was part of a wider police operation targeting bikie clubs after a failed drive-by shooting targeting a Mongols member. His funeral was held at Pinaroo Valley Memorial Park under strict conditions imposed by authorities, including a 30-minute time limit for the gathering. The Rebels have remained without a club president since his death. Next up, Thailand, where notorious Mongols bikie boss Troy Mercani has won his first professional boxing match in Bangkok, knocking out opponent Kritsana Bunosan just 23 seconds into the fight. The 58-year-old Perth-based veteran of the underworld, dropped nearly 20 kilograms to fight in the cruiserweight division and secured a technical knockout at Bangkok's World Siam Stadium, after landing a series of heavy punches. Mercante fought in Thailand because the WA Combat Sports Commission would not license him in Australia due to his criminal past. He is reportedly considering more bouts to capitalize on his notoriety.
Kitana starting early with a 1-2. High guard here from Mercante. Great left hook there from Mercante on the back foot. Patiently waiting to load that one up.
Nice work here by the Thai fighter, coming for a big right hand by Troy, and he starts to stumble his opponent. Kritsana doesn't know where he is. Troy just starting to hammer away. The referee's got to be looking at this very closely, and that is it, folks. Troy in the first round has dominated his opponent. What a victory, Ali.
Wow, within 15 seconds of the first round, Troy Mercante just unloading on Kitsana.
The win comes as Mercante faces unrelated charges at home, accused of fighting a rival bikie in a Como pub earlier this year. He has pleaded not guilty and the matter has been delayed until 2026 for trial.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the time of 24 seconds, your winner by way of first round TKO, Troy Mercante.
Our next update takes us to far north Queensland, where police have wrapped up a 5-day crime blitz targeting property offences across the region. The operation led to 87 people being charged with a total of 256 offences. Among them, 58 adults faced 133 charges, while 29 youths were hit with 123 charges. The crackdown involved officers from various units including Cairns General Duties, Tactical Crime Squad, Dog Squad, Property Crime, and the Child Protection and Investigation Unit. One major arrest occurred on June 25, when a 20-year-old man from Manura allegedly threatened someone at a local shopping center and tried to steal their car keys. He was quickly taken into custody and charged with robbery.
Mate, you're currently under arrest for robbery.
He'll face the Cairns Magistrates Court. Then on June 27, police raided a property in Ariga and found meth, cocaine, testosterone, cannabis, cash, a sawn-off shotgun, and ammo. A 22-year-old man was arrested and charged with multiple serious drug and weapons offenses.
You're under arrest, mate, like we said.
He remains in custody to appear in the Mariba Magistrates Court. Detective Inspector Jason Chetham praised the efforts, calling it business as usual for Cairns Police. He said the results reflect their ongoing commitment to community safety and confirmed that hotspot policing will continue to disrupt criminal behavior. Our next update is from Adelaide, where a father and son of Indian descent have been sentenced over the importation and distribution of opium and illicit tobacco, following an investigation by the Australian Border Force. In January last year, ABF officers executed a search warrant at an Indian grocery and takeaway store in Plympton, where they found around 2 kilograms of opium, 29 kilograms of illicit tobacco, and 2,000 illegal cigarettes hidden throughout the premises. CCTV footage showed the son selling the illicit goods to customers. Further searches at the duo's residence uncovered an additional 430 grams of opium, and a storage unit in Renella, rented by the father, also contained another 3.5 kilograms of opium and 20 kilograms of illicit tobacco. The charges against both men included possession of a border-controlled drug suspected of being unlawfully imported under the Criminal Code, and possession of tobacco suspected to have evaded customs duty under the Taxation Administration Act. Both men were charged and faced court. The son was sentenced to 6 months in prison, but was released on a Commonwealth recognizance release order, with a $500 bond and a 1-year good behavior condition. He was also fined $6,000 and ordered to forfeit $24,000 under proceeds of crime. The father was also sentenced to 3 months in prison, but was released on a $500 bond with the same good behavior conditions, and fined $3,000. The products sold included tobacco, betel nut, and items marketed as Ayurvedic medicine. However, in reality, they were drugs containing controlled substances. The ABF stated the operation followed the illicit supply chain from importation to retail, and warned of the serious health risks associated with the opium, which contained toxic substances like mercury and lead. If you're looking for more exciting and eye-catching regular bikie and organized crime updates, don't hesitate, smash that subscribe button, spread the word rapidly, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments section, and for the true grid Spartans out there, consider sending a super thanks or buy us a coffee, to show some love. It goes a long way in keeping us motivated and the channel thriving, as most of the videos on this channel are not monetized due to its crime-related content. Stay tuned, stay curious, stay awesome and take care. Wu-Tang.